A glimpse of medieval Japan. The first knowledge of Japan to reach Europe came from the writings of Marco Polo, the Venetian traveler who visited the court of Kublai Khan in China in the 13th century. There he heard of Japan, which the Chinese called Zipangu. Marco wrote, "Zipangu is an island 500 miles from the mainland. The people are civilized in their manners and independent of every foreign power. Few merchants visit the country, nor is it frequented by much shipping from other parts." Just 50 years after Columbus discovered America, the first Europeans, Portuguese traders, visited Japan. Their coming created a sensation among the Japanese. The visitors received a friendly welcome and quickly disposed of the goods they had brought. The Japanese were deeply interested in the strange ships and in the Portuguese themselves. They were especially eager to obtain cannon and gunpowder. In turn, the visitors learned much about Japan. They were told that the land was made up of many petty principalities owing a nominal allegiance to the Mikado at Kyoto. The Mikado, or emperor, was regarded as divine by his subjects. The ordinary Japanese never saw the Mikado, who spent most of his time in the seclusion of his vast palace. When he traveled, it was in a closed palanquin or litter. The emperor's feet were never allowed to touch the common earth. He never wore an article of clothing a second time. After he had eaten from a bowl, it was promptly broken. It was said that every morning the Mikado, watched by anxious priests, sat like a statue on his throne for several hours. This act was supposed to bring tranquility to the kingdom for the day. If he moved slightly, it was taken as an ill omen. Despite all the homage paid to the Mikado, the real ruler was the shogun, who was both prime minister and commander-in-chief of the army. The shogun maintained a rival court at Yedo and only visited the Mikado at Kyoto once or twice a year. A rigid caste system prevailed in Japan. At the top were the nobles, the kujis, courtiers, and the daimyos, feudal barons. Men of the noble class wore two swords as a sign of their rank. The samurai, or professional soldiers, formed a powerful special privileged brotherhood. They wore masks to protect their faces and frighten their foes. The army and the priesthood were the only professions considered honorable. Social etiquette was strict. A man of lower rank saluted a superior by kowtowing, prostrating himself on the floor. The superior returned the greeting by placing his hands on his knees and bowing. And speaking of commodity dollars, Japan at that time was on the rice standard. That great staple of the Far East was commonly used as money.